All right, let's talk about a huge strategic move coming from the Pi network. A brand new partnership has just been announced, and believe me, this isn't just another routine update. This could literally be the key that unlocks real-world utility for millions of pioneers out there.
So this really begs the question, right? Is this the partnership, the one upgrade that finally connects Pi's massive community to actual, mainstream, real-world applications? Well, let's dive in and break it all down. So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the big announcement itself. Then we'll get to know Pi's new partner, Sign-in Protocol. After that, we'll dig into what this really unlocks for the network, take an honest look at where Pi is right now, and then, most importantly, what this all means for you and your next steps.
Okay, let's get right into it. This whole thing kicked off at a pretty significant event that honestly signals a major shift in strategy for Pi.
It all went down at a meetup during Korea Blockchain Week on September 22nd. Now the key detail here, the thing you really need to pay attention to, is who was there for Pi. Stephanie Moore, the chief advisor from the Pi core team. Her showing up tells you this isn't some minor collaboration. No, this is a core piece of Pi's future strategy.
So who is this new partner that has everybody talking? Let's meet Sign Protocol.
Okay, so Sign Protocol is what they call an omni-chain attestation protocol. I know, that is a mouthful, but the concept is actually pretty simple. Just think of it like a universal digital notary. It's a system built to officially verify any piece of information, we're talking signatures, contracts, whatever, and make that verification legit not just on one blockchain, but across all the big ones.
And you got to understand, this is not some small startup. Sign Protocol has serious credibility. They're backed by the absolute heavyweights of venture capital. I'm talking Sequoia Capital, Circle Ventures, and Binance Labs. When firms like that put their money down, the whole industry sits up and pays attention. It's a massive stamp of approval on their tech.
So here's the billion-dollar question. What does having this powerful, well-funded partner actually do for the Pi network? Let's get into the real benefits. This partnership really boils down to three game-changing advantages for Pi. First, it kicks the door wide open for real-world use cases. Second, it gives Pi some serious cross-chain power. And third, it helps build that incredibly important institutional trust. Let's break down each one. First up, real-world use, and this is a huge one. With Sign Protocol integrated, pioneers can start doing things like verifying official documents, creating legally valid digital signatures, and executing formal contracts all right there inside the Pi ecosystem. This is the kind of stuff that could take Pi from just a digital currency to a practical tool for everyday life and business. Second, we've got cross-chain power. Look, until now, Pi has pretty much lived in its own walled garden. This partnership starts tearing down those walls. It makes Pi interoperable, which is just a fancy way of saying it can finally talk to and work with other major blockchains. This is absolutely critical for getting wider adoption and plugging into the massive world of DeFi. And third, it's all about building institutional trust. If you want big investors and regulators to take you seriously, you have to prove you're committed to compliance. By partnering with a proven, trusted protocol like Sign, Pi is sending a very clear message. We are building a serious platform that is ready for prime time.
Now, all this news is incredibly exciting, but it's always important to see the whole picture. So let's take a quick balanced reality check on where Pi stands right now, both with its tech and in the market.
And this slide really lays it all out. On one hand, the tech is moving forward at a great pace. We've got Protocol v23 bringing full smart contract support and AI-driven KYC speeding things up. But on the other hand, we have to look at the market. The price has taken a 20% hit, and there's a pretty large supply of tokens sitting on exchanges, with even more coming soon.
But while the market has its challenges, the technology Pi is plugging into is already proven. This number, over 800,000, that's how many contracts have already been signed and executed using Signal Protocol's technology. This shows that Pi isn't just taking a gamble on a cool new idea. They're integrating a battle-tested platform, and that is a huge confidence booster.
So let's bring this all back home. What does all this high-level strategic news actually mean for you, the pioneers who've been mining and supporting this project from the beginning?
For you, this partnership unlocks a whole new toolbox. As a pioneer, you could soon be doing business transactions that are guaranteed by the blockchain. If you're an entrepreneur, you could start using legally valid digital documents for your company. For developers, it means building services that connect to other chains. And for everyone, it means more educational content to help you master it all.
So with all this change coming, what should the community be doing right now to get ready?
Here's a simple little playbook for every pioneer. First, keep a close eye on the development of the signed protocol integration. Second, start thinking about how you could use new features like document verification. Third, really start exploring what cross-chain possibilities mean for the Pi you're holding. And finally, stay tuned, because this is probably just the first of many big partnerships to come.
You know, if you had to boil this entire story down to one key takeaway, this quote from the source material absolutely nails it. It says Pi Network is moving from a community-focused project to a functional blockchain ecosystem. That one sentence perfectly captures this entire strategic shift.
This partnership is a massive step in that evolution. The foundation is being laid for something much, much bigger. So the final question is pretty simple. As Pi Network grows up, are you ready for what's coming next? Thanks for tuning in.